Hi, I'm Shaka Hislop, and you're here at Extra Time TV.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the 4th edition of the EXTV podcast. This is Andre Soklal, and today, before we get into the topics, I'd like to say a special thank you to all my supporters who have been supporting this new format, folks, all over the planet, especially those from Gambia and the rest of the planet. I'm really appreciating the love, folks. And this is a new show and a new format. As you can see, we're doing things very differently. We're always trying new things, and as I always said, I've been reading all the comments in the comment section below, folks, and I appreciate the comments, and I'm paying attention to everything everyone has to say. And this is a new style, and what I mean by this is, if you go in the comment section below, there are timestamps, and the timestamps indicate the topic you'd like to listen to. So for example, if you're busy, which I know a lot of you are, you can just click on a topic that really applies to you, and it jumps to that topic. So you can listen to that on the fly. But if you want to listen to the entire thing, we have the audio version only on Spotify, which I'll put a link in the description below. And also, if you just want to listen to the entire thing in your car while you're driving in traffic or wherever you are, you can Bluetooth that on the radio and just listen to the entire thing and check it out and hear my voice. So we're going to head straight into the topics, folks. Unfortunately, the fairytale Gambia, the team that I've been following, Tom St. Feet, the guy who coached Trinidad and Tobago, in case you guys are wondering, he used to coach Trinidad and Tobago and now he's in Gambia. Had a wonderful run and in the quarterfinals, and unfortunately they fell to Cameroon 2-0. It was really, honestly, a wonderful journey to pay attention to, and it shows it's something that relates to me very well, because I am from Trinidad and Tobago. It's a small country. A lot of us didn't expect much from us, and then we qualified for the 2006 World Cup. We had some great players, but still, it was amazing, not just for the players, but for the country. And this is just another example, and I'll give you all some examples about that. But while we're doing this, before I get into that, this is funny how football is. While I'm doing this, I have my script with all my topics. This just in, folks. I always wanted to say that. This just in. Apparently, before we move forward with our initial topics, Canada, because the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers are going on, Canada just defeated USA 2-0. Now that, folks, that is impressive, because Canada is on top of the table, and 2 goals from Kyle Larin and Sam Ude Kugbe. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. So I'm going to pull up the table really quickly. This was not part of the original lineup, but we had to talk about this because Canada, and we have some stuff we'll talk about, but Canada is 22 points now, and they clear the US men's national team. I mean, there's a couple games left, so things can change, but that's pretty impressive, folks. That's pretty impressive. Canada is doing really good, and we'll talk about them later on. But back to the topic at hand, which is Gambia, folks. Gambia, really are a team, like I said, I can relate to. And unfortunately they lost to Cameroon. So back to Cameroon, and and forgive me if I'm mispronouncing this, 2 goals from Toko Nkambe in the 50th minute, and also the second one when he finished at the back post. I think he used to play for PSG before. I think currently right now he's at Lyon in France. But you all can let me know in the comment section below, fans of Cameroon. And of course, a quick Google search for you Google people out there. But I know there's some football fans out there who will know what I'm talking about. So just a quick recap, folks. Tom and his team basically, came second in their group. But before we do that, let's take a quick look at the stats for the game. So let's head across to that real quick. And as you can see here, 2-0. 61% possession, 39% possession for Gambia. Cameroon is a very strong team. Make no mistake about it. So, obviously, while we all wanted Gambia to go on and just, go all the way and have that fairy tale ending, this is by no means a weak team. Cameroon is very strong. I mean, everybody knows that they always had famous players. Obviously, one of my favorite players ever, Samuel Eto'o. So, as you can see, in terms of possession, Cameroon dominated 61%. There was 2 total shots and 1 on target, so Gambia was just restricted to very little shots. 7 on target for Cameroon, 18 shots. So you can see just by the stats alone the type of game they played. Cameroon clearly pushed Gambia back, and it was obviously a strong team. So no disrespect to anybody, but this was really a good game for everybody. So you know, like I said, I'm gonna read some quotes from from in Gambia and so on. So, you know, a lot of people are asking, how did a team with just less than 2 million get so far? It's a fairy tale. It's something we can relate to. But I'm going to pull up some quotes. So according to the Gambian national broadcaster, we have produced a group of talented footballers who are playing in some of the best leagues in Europe, explains Mamadou Jallo. He's a sports expert from the Gambian national broadcaster. This has helped the team to compete against big guns of African football. So, the team has united our country, says Omar Jarju. Once again, please forgive me, folks, for my pronunciation. You can let me know if I'm doing it correctly. Editor of Banjul's The Chronicle newspaper. Politicians have put aside their strife and got behind the team. Everyone is happy to see the boys doing well. So this, folks, is an example, a perfect example of how sport helps the country and it helps the people. It unites countries. So if there was not an example, if that's not a good example, I don't know what is. I mean, we've seen it here in my country, in Trinidad and Tobago. We've seen it all over the planet how it can unite things. When the Copa America was won by Argentina, whether you like them or not, you know, it was a celebration and, you know, it unites countries. I mean, obviously, there's always going to be a loser, but even though they didn't win the tournament, they surpassed expectations and did really well. They had great players and they continued to really go on this magnificent journey, which unfortunately has ended. But, you know, we got a couple quotes that I'm going to pull up real quickly here for the man himself. So let me make sure and get that for you guys real quick. Like I said, I do this all myself, folks. I do this all myself. So let's see if I can find it real quick. There we go. I got it, folks. So let's take a quick read of what Thompson Feet had to say. So as you can see here on his Facebook page, because I didn't manage to find any post-match reactions from Tom, but this is from his Facebook account, official, of course. And of course, Tom is also a good friend of mine. Thank you, all my heroes, and to all the fans of for your support. Our Africa Cup is over, a tear to say goodbye, but so proud about all we achieved. And never forget, folks, forgive me if I'm saying this wrong, Neka Yen Ndongo, I love you, Gambia. Once again, folks, please don't kill me. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but I want to learn, so you can let me know. Let me know in the comment section below, because I love to learn about new cultures. I love it, absolutely love it. And you know, that's one of the cool things about football. You know, there's so much you can learn about the game. So, you know, moving along, folks, you know, there's a topic that is a bit disturbing, but, you know, before I head into that, I really like to talk about the fact that it seems to me that with all the joy in football, there's also a lot of very scary, sad things that's going on. And I'm going to jump to the next topic here. And like I said, it's something that's a little bit disturbing, and usually we try to be upbeat on our show, but you know, we're going to have to talk about this, and unfortunately it's a very serious incident. So basically, as reported by all over the planet, 8 people died in the African Cup of Nations in the Cameroon stadium crash. So this was a couple days before the quarterfinal, and you know, I'm going to pull up the actual report. Now, this is very sad, folks, and you know, I don't really like to talk about these things, but let's head across and see if I could pull this up real quick. So I don't really like to dwell on these things, but unfortunately I want to pull up the actual report. So let's do that. Let's head across, folks. So there it is. So I'm, you know, I just pulled this from the actual report, and there's many others as well. Of course, there's pop-ups. Let's go straight to the article. So the headline is, oh, this is the wrong one. There we go. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Nope, that's not it. So here we go. That's the third one. The headline is AFCON reportedly into deadly stadium crush will focus on who closed the gate that led to the loss of lives. So let's, you know, this is how it says what took place. At least 8 people were killed and 38 injured in Monday's incident during the Africa Cup of Nations between Cameroon and Comoros. The crush occurred at the south entrance of the stadium as fans attempted to watch the round of 16 match, which ended in a 2-1 victory for Cameroon. If the gate was open, spectators would have walked through and it was closed for inexplicable reasons. CEF President Patrice Motsepe said during a press conference on Tuesday, if that gate was open and it was supposed to, we wouldn't have had this loss of life. So, we went along here and it's very sad. But, I'm not going to read out the entire thing, but he basically said there is zero tolerance, absolutely zero tolerance in the circumstances which could result in being injured and the stadiums losing their lives. It was also confirmed that the press conference at the AFCON quarterfinal, due to be played at the Olembe Stadium on Sunday, will be moved to the Amadou Hijo Stadium in Yaoundé. Once again, forgive me. So whatever. So that's the thing. That's the scary part about this thing. It's that this is really tragic, folks. Anybody who follows football knows there's a lot of tragedies. There's a lot of things that take place that we're not happy with in this game. And this is truly sad, folks. And there's a lot of things that took place in this tournament, which we'll talk about when it's done. Refereeing decisions, pretty bizarre. But this is truly sad. My heart goes out to the fans of the game. And, I ask anybody who's a fan of the game to be really careful. Things could go really crazy at games. I actually knew people before the COVID pandemic that, were traumatized by, stadiums not being organized, and they just never went back. So, this is really a terrible thing, and we hope that it never happens again. And, we can continue to enjoy football. I know there's a COVID-19 pandemic, but we can continue to go on and enjoy this the way it was meant to be enjoyed. I still get a little depressed reading it, but it's really quite a sad thing to do. So I'm gonna to experience. So I'm gonna load up our next topic. So we're gonna head across to CONCACAF, where we talk about, and I'm gonna load this up really quickly because I'm doing it all myself, folks, all myself. I don't know why I sounded American just now. So as you all know, the World Cup qualification for CONCACAF is going on. And of course, Trinidad and Tobago and in Jamaica, the last two CFU countries. Well, Trinidad's not in there, but Jamaica is in there. But Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica are usually in there sometimes. But recently that has changed. Trinidad, fell pretty early. There's a lot of problems, we'll talk about that. But Jamaica fall 3-2 to Panama, and a couple days ago they fell to Mexico. Both close games. In the Mexico game, they pretty much had them on the run. There was a red card, and this is probably very hurtful for Jamaica. So I'm gonna pull up the table real quick because this essentially kind of ends it, but there's still a mathematical chance, I think. So what we'll do is that we'll take a look at the table. There we go. I got it. I'm getting better, folks. With each show, I get a little bit better. So let's head across to the table. And as you can see here, Canada is on 22 points. But let's take a look at the table here. So Jamaica has 7 points, and Honduras is rooted at the bottom of the table. So let's do some quick mathematics, folks. Let's do some quick mathematics. So I'm going to pull up some information here and see if we could determine if Jamaica can really, get back in there. So as you can see, Jamaica has 7 points. I think, if I'm not mistaken, if my math is wrong, we may have 4 more games. I'm thinking. So there is a chance if Jamaica, gets results in the next couple games, they can sneak in. Of course, it would require, some other teams getting some favorable results. If I'm moving, because I got a little cramp, folks, which is unacceptable. So yeah, so let's pull up their next matches. So basically, Jamaica has to play Costa Rica. So that's going to be difficult. And Costa Rica isn't doing well as well. As you can see, Costa Rica has 13 points. El Salvador, Canada, which is the strongest team in the group. Maybe they may hold back a little bit because they're so far ahead. Actually, no, because, 4 games is a lot of points. 4 threes are 12. 12 points up for grabs. So there's still a chance. There's still a chance, maybe. But it requires a lot of results to go in Jamaica's favor. It requires a lot of results to go in Jamaica's favor, and maybe they could get a 3 points against Honduras, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So I think it's highly unlikely. All my friends of the Reggae Boys, you can let me know what you think if they're gonna make it or not. I think it's going to be pretty tough. They've shown that they can go toe to toe to these guys, and it kind of reminds me of the Trinidad and Tobago campaign back in 2018, where it's just these episodes. They just missing that final touch to really get back and finish games. And, Shaka hits up, and we have a podcast where we spoke about that, where sometimes, CFU teams still, have those little moments that hurt you at that level that we really need to get rid of. And, those unforced errors, those little mistakes that really can turn a game around at this level. And you really have to minimize errors and almost have none to really perform at this level. So, unfortunately, Jamaica, we're talking about USA pulling apart there. And I think while I was doing this table, the games are going on. So I think it stayed the same. Jamaica, it looks pretty tough. Canada looks like the team to beat. We'll actually talk about that, the rise of the Canadian football team. We'll probably see if we can get Stephen Hart to discuss this. Former coach of Trinidad and Tobago. He currently coaches Halifax Wanderers in the Canadian Premier League. Well, I did not want to say CPL before, people might think I'm talking about the Caribbean Premier League, which is cricket, which is a whole different thing, folks. So this is the Canadian Premier League. And Stephen Hart is there. John Michael Williams, former Trinidad and Tobago goalkeeper, is there. What do they attribute to this upsurge in Canadian football? Does it correlate or has a connection to the fact that they have a domestic league? Who knows? But this is quite interesting and exciting for anybody who really follows this kind of football. So, this CONCACAF thing is interesting. But, I'm going to talk quickly. I'm just going to run through some stats really quickly. Jamaica played with a 4-4-2 formation according to the reports. And, Panama played with a 4-1-4-1. The first goal was scored by Michael Antonio, which was a penalty. Avin Brown, own goal. Eric Davis, 51, Andre Gray, 87th, and Anibal Mello, the 68th minute. So, Jamaica, even though the possession and so on, like 36%, 64%, let me pull up some of those stats so we can take a look real quick. Let's pull up some of those stats. So, we're going to have to do a little bit more analysis on this. Because, like I said, these teams are separated by episodes, and Jamaica got, I think, a decent shot if they continue with what they're doing to have success. I really think so. I think Jamaica really has something special going, and to be honest, I think they're on the verge of something special. So we're gonna head across to our next topic, and I'll be honest with you, I think that Caribbean football needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of work. Trinidad and Tobago needs to get their act together, which is a whole other topic. We'll talk about that soon, because we don't have our domestic football in order. But hopefully everything will work out, and we can all work together and help in our own way to do this. So, we're going to head across to our next topic, folks. And like I said, I'm doing this all myself. I'm doing this all by myself. So, we're going to head to South America, folks, where Argentina took on Chile. And the reason why that is special is not because it's a South American game, whatever. Argentina took on Chile without Leo Messi, without their coach who has COVID, Lionel Scaloni. They had a lot of problems. And they headed into this game, and a lot of people make this statement about, Lionel Messi, Argentina is just Leo Messi and a couple other guys, which I think people are starting to realize that's not true. And they got a beautiful result. Angel Di Maria scored an amazing goal, which, I wish I could have put it here, but due to copyright reasons, I'm not going to do that. But, Argentina now second in the table, but that goal and the way they played, was it perfect? No. But it shows that this team has character now. And, they have gone on an unbeaten streak. I think let's check it out real quick. I think it's 27. I could be wrong. It's a 27 unbeaten streak. But this, I think it's 27 because my graphic is 27, so it has to be 27. But let's take a look at the stats, because Argentina in this table have been doing really well. And I think, let me pull this up. Like I said, this is a lot of work, folks, but I'm trying to do my best. So I'm going to load up the CONMEBOL standings. As you can see here, Brazil have 36 points. Now, there's a game in hand, folks. There is a game in hand because of the Argentina-Brazil game, which ended in controversy, which, interestingly enough, we'll have some more about Brazil and controversy coming up. Brazil has 36 points, Argentina has 32 points, Ecuador 24, Peru 20, Uruguay 19. But, and we go down. But Argentina secured qualification, but they have 32 points, and, they're playing it with, without a lot of their first squad, in the next game, I think they'll be playing Colombia. They won't have their squad. But I think this is a blessing in disguise for Argentina because they're playing without, they're having a lot of obstacles to deal with. They lost some players due to COVID. They called up McAllister, but he couldn't play. I think also Otamendi and Tagliafico and a lot of these guys are suspended for the next game. So we're seeing an Argentina that really has shown a lot of character. A lot of character. And to be honest with you, I think this is a team that I won't outright say they're the favorites, but it's exciting to see. And man, that Di Maria goal was impressive. There's a couple issues I have with the team. I think young Molina is okay. He's growing into a great player, but he's still not there yet. I think sometimes the midfield can be great, but it's a different Argentina, a different way they play. And the fact is, it is what it is. But we're going to head across to another topic because we were talking about Brazil, because Brazil has 36 points. And if CONMEBOL awards that game to Argentina, and Argentina wins their game, not that it matters though, Argentina will jump in front and be on top of the table. And I guess in terms of seeding and so on, that will be very important because when you're being grouped at the World Cup, it helps. It helps. So, speaking about controversy, we're going to head across to another topic. Another topic, folks. Brazil, folks. It's always something with Brazil. So Brazil took on Ecuador. Ecuador is at home. And the game ended 1-1. Now, folks, it is no secret that I'm an Argentina fan. So I know that there's a lot of people that are going to call me out and say, okay, he's an Argentina fan. But I always do my best to try to be as impartial as possible. And this just further adds to what a lot of people are seeing now. There's a lot of things. So let's just take a quick look at some of these interesting scenarios. So I'm gonna head across real quickly. I'm gonna find the report of this particular chaotic incident. So just so you all could see. So it's not me. This is the media explaining something. Like I said, this is very tough for me, very peculiar, and I'm going to read it from their perspective, not my own, so I won't get any stick for anything. So let me see if I could pull that up for you guys real quick. Wherever it is. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So I got it. So of course I'm grabbing it from the actual sites. So let's head across. So as you can see, basically, the title is Ecuador versus Brazil descends into chaos with horror kung fu kick and red cards galore. Now this is from the Express. Now there's other places I could pull it up from, but this is the first one I came up in the search. But it's everywhere. So as you can see here, one of the controversial decisions was this picture here, where the Ecuador goalkeeper Alexander Dominguez was sent off for that kick, and rightfully so. It's just awful. I mean, that is horrible. I really don't think. However, in certain games, especially Argentina games, I've seen guys get worse. 2006, Pato Abondanzeri, check it out. Nothing happened. The most they got was a yellow. So, as we move further along, this is where things got a little bit bizarre. I mean, forgive me for all these ads, but this is the site, folks. So, Emerson Royale's yellow in the first minute set a precedent for a feisty game. Things got better for Brazil just 5 minutes later as the Real Madrid Casemiro got the opener from 1 yard out. But the game slowly descended into madness. And I'm reading this so you all can see what I'm talking about. After the quarter hour mark, after an X-rated karate kick from Dominguez on Cunha, which we saw here. Let's go back up to that. The Ecuador keeper was deservedly sent off. So fair enough. I can agree with that. The chaotic scenes were not finished there, with Tottenham's Brazil star Royale adding to a circus by picking up his second yellow, meaning both sides were reduced to 10 men. So, okay, the circus begins. Can't get any worse, right? So, incredibly, there may have been a third dismissal after. This is where it gets weird. This is where the dismissals get really strange, folks. And I think I have a couple tweets in there that I can see if I could pull up from various people, just kind of speaking about how ridiculous this is. He may have been dismissed after Alisson denied a goal-scoring opportunity at the half-an-hour mark. The Liverpool goalkeeper was sent off after a high boot almost connected with the face of Ener Valencia. So let me see if they have a picture. Oh, there we go. So there it is. So you judge for yourself, folks. You know, a lot of people said he was... Obviously, he had to run out the box, but I mean, to me, that's a straight red. To me, that's a straight red. But, you know, pictures and context is everything. Somebody might look at it and say it's okay. So let's go back up to what they said. I'm reading a report so you all can see this is a journalist and not me saying what I have to say. The Liverpool goalkeeper was sent off. So there was pandemonium in the stands when Edison was dismissed, but their joy was short-lived. Because that's not Edison. That's Alisson. So that's, anyway, whatever. But their joy was short-lived as the referee bizarrely overturned the decision consultation with VAR sparing Brazil the ignominy of being reduced to 9 men after just over 30 minutes. So yeah, the referee was kept busy for the final 15 minutes with Alisson. Another incident with Alisson after dishing out bookings to the lead star Rafinha and Ida Militao to lead the Seleção with 3 players on cautions. Alisson was then once again comically sent off again in the match, but was given reprieve by once again VAR intervening. I mean, there's also a crazy thing in the AFCON, we'll talk about that. 2 more yellows were dished out in the second half, taking the total to 9 cards, with Valencia and Caicedo picking up bookings. The home side eventually equalized through Felix Torres in the 75th minute. So, you know, I think justice for Ecuador. Ecuador's a very strong team, folks. Having already qualified, the result was far from a disaster for Brazil, who are now 7 points ahead of their fierce rivals, Argentina. It's not the first time Brazil have been clouded in violent controversy in their qualification campaign. You know, whatever. So the last time they had that, and this is something I'm going to talk about, when I don't know if it's pronounced like this, but Anvisa or Anvisa personnel invaded the pitch and stopped the game to detain 4 Premier League players in the height of the COVID-19 laws, which, you know, resulted in the game being stopped. So yeah, so we're going to head back across now. Guys, ladies, people, this is not the first time Brazil has been involved in some controversy. And, you know, I'm going to go back to that game where the last time Argentina played. You know, basically, I think it was comical. A lot of people are saying, you know, the point should go to Brazil, the point should go to Argentina. A lot of people saying Argentina broke the rules. A lot of people are saying Brazil, CONMEBOL gave them permission to come. And, you know, it was a big ugly mess. So the argument is who really gave who permission. And the thing is, it hasn't been decided yet, because I think it's a lot of it's pretty ugly, because I think the governing bodies in football gave them the permission to come, and I think but I think the way how it was handled, if the game was taking place, you had several days to speak to the players at the hotel and say, listen, this is not happening. They waited till they went on the pitch and claimed that you know, the players were avoiding them. So we'll see how that turns out, who the points will go to. It seems as if, based on my reports, that it will go towards Argentina. I don't know. That's just a big ugly mess. Then if you backtrack to the Copa America 2019, Brazil President Bolsonaro was also involved in a very shady piece of stuff with the VAR interference. So let me read the report real quick, just to give you all some context. CONMEBOL confirms problems. The VAR communication problems were reportedly, and this is after Brazil defeated Argentina 2-0 in the 2019 Copa America, which was a lot of controversy, penalties being denied. But I'll read what took place. So this will be the third incident that's very strange that benefits Brazil. There's also one in the Copa America where the ball hit the ref. I think it was against Colombia. And instead of play being stopped, you know, they continued. A goal was scored. And a lot of people were arguing that if the ball strikes the referee, it should have been stopped and a drop ball. Some people are saying that's not the case. And there was a lot of discussions with refs. Some people saying, no, it should continue, and they explain why. So you can let me know what you think about that. So let me read this thing from back in the Copa America. The VR communication problems were reportedly a result of the visit of Brazil President Bolsonaro, whom the AFA said is using the tournament as a clear political demonstration in a 6-page letter to CONMEBOL. Bolsonaro was at the stadium to watch the game, and his security team's radio frequencies coincided with those that the referee used to communicate with the VAR team. according to Globo Esporte. So basically, it sounds insane that the signals of the radio coincided with VAR, which I find absolutely hilarious. So the calls couldn't be done. Those of you who saw the game, it is, whether you agree or not, that is pretty crazy. With the problems fixed before the game, the responsibility for the non-review of the penalty decision still rests with the referee Rodi Zambrano and Leodan Gonzalez, who led the video review team. So, folks, it is what it is. It's just one thing after the next. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I almost knocked my light over, folks, about that, because it seems that there's always something going on. It's something going on. So let me know what you think. I know there's a lot of Brazil fans out there. I'm not trying to do a conspiracy theory. I put my facts out there. Let me know what you think about that. I think it's a bit bizarre. That's really the reality of it. And the fact is, we don't really know what to make of it, to be honest with you. So we're gonna end things off there, folks. There was so much topics to talk about, but we're getting better and better at this. So once again, I'm going to end this off by saying feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and if you're new to us and our EXTV podcast, we have timestamps in the description below, so you can jump to the topic that interests you, and you can listen to that if you're busy, because we know we're all busy. We live in busy times, and you can listen to the topic that applies to you, and then if you want to listen to the entire thing afterwards, you may find a topic that you didn't think you would like, because we try to cover everything. We were in the AFCON, then we came to CONCACAF, and we head down to CONMEBOL, and we talk about anything. We talk about anything, to be honest. So once again, folks, don't forget to like, subscribe, check out our audio version only on Spotify. We also have some content that you won't see on the YouTube channel, and extended versions of interviews as well. We have a particular one with Kenwin Jones of Trinidad and Tobago, who's currently the coach of the women's team, was almost a Liverpool player, and he spoke about the trials he had to face. And we have Shaka Hislop and many others as well doing discussions. And we'll probably have Stephen Hart or someone from the Canadian football fraternity come by and discuss the rise of Canadian football. So folks, once again, this is Andre Sokla. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and check out our podcast and subscribe. It really means a lot. So once again, this is Andre Soklal of Extra Time TV, and thank you for joining us.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.